Actually, Henry, we're just getting word right now that they called the race. Casey, and our producer right now, is telling us who they call the race for, Casey. I mean, we have the numbers that we can throw up on the screen right now. They called the race for Brad Lander. Okay, so there we go. Associated Press now calling this very race for Brad Lander, who has defeated now a sitting congressman, Dan Goldman. Has the news kind of broken there yet, Henry? These numbers just came in moments ago.
I heard, bear with me as I pan over.
Yeah,
we'll kind of try to show you a little bit of the crowd. There was a spattering of applause over there. There's no TVs actually out at this watch party, but we heard a spattering of applause, and I think the news is starting to. A little more applause just there. News is starting to sink in here, Dan, but I think the way that I would describe this crowd and these groups of supporters were they went in very, very confident. So while everyone is certainly happy and certainly happy for their candidate, and we're starting to see some more people filter in, perhaps Mr. Lander is going to arrive sooner than later, which is why I keep peeking off of my right shoulder here. But they came in pretty confident. And so this wasn't a sort of hold your breath moment and then that release of joy that we see sometimes at these election parties. This group was very confident, and this was the result they were expecting. Maybe not this quickly, but they were expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a big news here. All right, and again, and not a surprise if you go by the poll numbers. Our last poll had him up 30 points in that race here. But for the first call of the evening, Brad Lander, the former Comptroller, former New York City mayoral candidate, has defeated a sitting Congressman, Dan Goldman there. Henry, stand by as we come back to you if any news breaks there. I want to bring in our panel right now who is joining us. J.C. Polanco, professor of University of Mount St. Vincent, Democratic strategist Nick Smith, and government relations specialist Yvette Buckner to weigh in on this. Great to have all of you part of this big primary night coverage. First call of the evening right now has gone to Brad Lander. Yvette, let me begin with you and what this means for the moment in defeating Dan Goldman.
This is huge. This is huge. A sitting incumbent congressman is now been defeated. But as you said, no surprise, because people saw Brad Lander as an incumbent. And so they had voted for him over and over and over again, as opposed to someone like Dan Goldman, who people only came out for twice. This was really kind of something in the making that we were seeing, and even people on the ground were feeling it. I think Brad Lander, this is his moment. He's like done everything, talking about from immigration and ICE to right up into Israel and all of the issues that are really, really important to folks on the ground. I think this was his to win, and congratulations to him.
Yeah, if we can actually, guys, upstairs, I don't know if we have the camera that we can take right now over at Dan Goldman headquarters. I know we have a camera there. They didn't put the shot up just yet. I wonder if they're just not in a celebratory mood. That's the only shot we have right now is of that sign. So, you know, let me go over to JC right now. And in this moment, if you're Dan Goldman, what are you thinking? Where did I go wrong?
I'm upset if I'm Dan Goldman. Look, you go to the dictionary, you look up Democrat, there's Dan Goldman, right? He's the leading attorney against President Trump during his first impeachment trial. He's done everything right with immigration, with abolishing ICE, with helping folks getting out of with immigration issues. You take a look at his record on pro-choice. He's hit all the boxes, with the exception of one thing. You know, he supported Israel. And I'll tell you this, there's a kingmaker tonight, and that's the mayor. The Mayor Mamdani decided this was going to happen the moment he decided that he was not going to make Brad Lander first deputy mayor. He's a kingmaker tonight because get a load of this.
We only have one race called so far, JC.
He's a kingmaker. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because he decided in this race that he was not going to name Brad Lander first deputy mayor and had him face the congressman because he knew he wanted this. Had Brad Lander been first deputy mayor, this race would have never happened, and Goldman would have been heading to re-election.